going to do a quick video on when and how to water your desert rose plants. They require specific watering routine. They're from the desert. They like to have their roots dry most of the time, apart from occasional wet roots that get to dry out. So they should never be sat in a bowl of water. I have loads of desert rose seedlings I'm going to show you today. First off, here is one that needs a drink. You can see the top of the soil is really dry, but he's not wilting, he's absolutely fine. Desert roses actually store the water in the trunk, and if they're done from seed they can develop really thick trunks, which is usually why they're quite sought after. They get this very aged look, but it's actually water in the trunk. So fill your bowl with a little bit of water, take your sapling and put it in the water and leave it. I've got a few here. Let it soak the water up from the bottom. You'll notice the sand I've got is, the compost I've got is sand and compost mixed together. This helps the water drain out of it, so they're not sat in water all the time. Otherwise the roots will rot and the plant will die. The easiest way to not germinate these from seeds is to keep them too wet. So if you've got nice healthy leaves like this, you're doing the watering routine correctly. So I'm going to come back in 10 minutes and you'll see hopefully the tops of these starting to look wet. The pot will also feel a lot heavier. So they've been sat here not even for 10 minutes, and if we have a look at the one with the higher content of compost, it has got grit in it, but it's very, very fine, so it's easier to see. You can see the top of the soil is just a little bit wet. When you press it, it's very spongy and it doesn't look dry anymore. There we go. It's just damp. You don't see a lot. I mean, it's not swimming with water, it's just damp. And this soil is designed to drain off excess water. So that's ready to come out and go back in its position, and that'll be fine for another 2 to 3 days depending on the weather. It's the same with these two that have got the larger sand in. The soil is damp to the touch. It's only damp, and that's about as much as you want. It's harder to see on that sort. There we go. And the pots feel a lot heavier. And that's them happy. And that's all you need to do. Don't water them from the top. It will just rot the roots and the stem. And you'll start getting issues with the leaves. Just water from the base. Occasionally, because I spray a lot of the plants, I'll do a fine misting over everything. I don't focus on one plant and like the desert roses and just spray them. I don't think that would do them any good at all. They just have a slightly humid atmosphere. So that's all you need to do. In the bigger pots, I'll just see if I can show you one of the older desert roses here. Have a look at the base. That nice fat base there is all water stored in this stem. Interestingly enough, just an interesting fact for you, when you do them from cutting, they don't always develop that nice thick trunk, and that'll get fatter and fatter the more water it stores, just in case, I guess, there's a drought for the desert, which is where they usually live. So that's how you water your desert rose plants. Really easy and simple to do. You follow that routine, you won't go wrong. And you don't have to use tap water. You can use rainwater or you can use aged water, which is what we do. And there you go. And that's how you keep your desert roses happy.